Navi's turn to ban. Alliance's turn to ban. Navi's turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Alliance's turn. Navi's turn to pick.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Epicenter qualifiers. Trying to get to Moscow, these two teams' alliance.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
But still,
reserve time.
taking my advice to heart, they are 1-0 up above Alliance, and we have the same pick ban side thing as last game, so all's right in the world. Gonna have a game 1 rematch, perhaps. It looks a little bit like it. Io still the pick here for Alliance. And I do think that the hero is playable, but this is kind of just Alliance's biggest comfort zone. This is just what they like to do. This is what EGM does best. So you can't really blame them for going for this IO opening. But we did see a great portion of the IO's weakness in the last game. If you're prepared for the IO, if you pick it up this early, you run into some serious issues because your mobility, your global mobility as the IO, is significantly decreased. Your ability to save heroes is significantly decreased because Navi will just be looking for you. They'll have heroes that are mobile enough and have enough vision to chase you down so that you cannot yank your allies out of those bad engagements. This is a risk that Alliance are kind of going to be okay with. I mean, obviously, first picking the IO does have those risks, but if it means that you can play better as a team because you just like playing with an IO, so be it. We'll see what they can do with it this time. Navi going to throw out the draft of game 1 and look towards something completely different, doing some small parts because the Warlock is banned out right now, but I think the Treant Protector was actually in that Warlock's ban slot, so a little bit of a switcheroo there. Darkseer Treant Protector is an interesting opening for sure for the Navi side. They are able to, with these two heroes, apply a decent amount of pressure towards the safe lane. Now, Juggernaut is a hero that, perhaps more so than others, will be able to resist this. But still, when you're talking about Treant Protector, just right-click harassment, it's already pretty substantial. When you also have the Ion Shell on top of the Treant, then things can get pretty redonkulous up in that top lane. And of course, when you're not in the lane, when it's the mid game, when it's the late game, you're looking at Vacuum into Overgrowth. Those are just incredible tools to have. And for Navi, they have just the Darkseer. So Vacuum into, I don't know, perhaps a Disruptor pick. A fantastic hero to have up against an IO. Great with the Darkseer. Wouldn't be all too bad for the Navi side if they want to kind of dip into that pool. We also go for the a Slardar or something like that if they want to run a little bit more of a greedier lineup, a little more aggro. Do go full CIS with the Darkseer Slardar in that fashion. Now, they definitely do have options except for that Disruptor banned out along with the Slark. And on the Navi side, just getting rid of some more of that IO synergy, which we didn't really see in the last game because of how hard countered that IO actually was. Still got to cover their bases. If you're Alliance and you have IO Juggernaut and you're going to say that is your combo, quote unquote, you're kind of okay with that. The movement speed on the Juggernaut, very nice. That additional sustain is quite nice as well. And the thing that Juggernaut has perhaps the most is instant impact as soon as he gets relocated into a fight. That's why you want heroes like Tiny, like Ursa with the IO. Because as soon as you yank him in, they'll do something that will probably kill someone else. And Juggernaut has the Omni Slash, so it is definitely a nice little pairing here for the Alliance side. They also have a lot of sustain off of this opening combo as well. Healing Ward doing double duty when you're talking about an injured IO, tethering back into a Juggernaut perhaps. It gets pretty redonkulous. Navi, they go ahead and grab a Rubik, which is going to give them a nice bit of control. My concern for Navi, though, is that they're going to end up being a little bit damage light. Darkseer, not really a huge damaging hero. We'll need Pycat and Dendy to really step it up in the DPS
10
department in this
seconds
game.
remaining.
Meantime, Alliance gonna smork their way, possibly,
5
to victory.
seconds remaining.
They have Overcharge on a Juggernaut. They have Bloodlust on a Juggernaut as well.
Reserved.
Juggernaut is just gonna go ham if that's really gonna be the case. Treant Protector is a pretty good hero to have in that situation. Living Armor will protect you against those big crits, and you can always just overgrowth the Juggernaut, try to get rid of that Blade Fury. It's not really like a huge solid, oh, you're not going to do anything counter, but it's a good answer for Navi, and of course Surge is going to be a very similar response. Navi, you have so far a very, very defensive for Navi. They would want to have someone who's made that safe lane, just try to get some Ion Shell value. Right now, it's going to be Lina. As far as mid lane heroes that have damage, I would say Lina probably close to the top, if not at the top. Lina, OD, probably TA, mix that in as well, which is something that Alliance can definitely pick up now. Now, Ion Shell is really good up against that TA in the kind of mid-game stage. But TA with Bloodlust and Overcharge up against the Lina matchup, I think that's a pretty clean one for the Alliance to get. And the best thing is that you know that the TA versus Lina matchup is going to be a TA and Ogre Magi versus Lina, because Lina is not really going to get all that much help from Rubik and Treant Protector. The Telekinesis setup for an LSA is not nothing, but it kind of pales in comparison to what Alliance can do if they decide to go for the Templar Assassin at this. I do still think that this is kind of a necessity for the Navi side. You know that Rubik and Treant Protector, they, again, aren't going to be really roaming around in the lanes. That means your mid lane hero has to be self-sufficient. In this situation, you really don't want to be sacking Dendy, because, again, if you miss your mid lane hero, then you're just going to run out of damage. You just don't have any follow-up. I really like this response from Alliance. Batrider with the extra movement speed, dual lane Batrider IO is not bad. But also, they have now a really good hero, along with the Ogre Magi, to deal with that Treant Protector. Fire, good against grass, as I'm sure you guys all know. But they also know that for Navi, their damage is really going to be heavily loaded up into just one or two heroes. Like, Rubik, Treant Protector aren't really that great at responding to a Batrider. Let's just say they're not Vengeful Spirit. And Darkseer as well doesn't really have that much game up against the Bat, so if you're Batrider, you know that there's very, very easy targets to go for, and those targets are easy to go for and will have a very large impact should you pick them up with the lasso. Normally, I'm not really a huge fan of the Batrider. I feel like the hero is, I feel like as far as, on a scale of 1 to 100, where 100 is Lina and 0 is Meepo, I feel like Batrider is kind of like a 40, like, 40 percentile of strength. That's just my opinion, though, man. In this game, it is definitely looking like an easy 75.
10 seconds remaining.
No offense to the Meepo players out there. I know some teams love it. Abed Meepo is definitely a thing, but perhaps I'm biased. Who's a 0 nowadays? Underlord? Is Underlord a 0? He might be. I haven't seen him since the nerfs. Not a single time. Feels kind of bad, man. Navi, take out the Sniper. Another hero that has a decent match versus the Lina. A little bit more of a hero that benefits off of that Bloodlust and the Overcharge and the kind of defensive aspect of the IO, the relocate out. Still, I would be worried if I was Navi in their mid lane. Pycat Lifestealer to be taken out now as Alliance. Go for a Silencer. Ooh. This is interesting. This matchup is going to be okay-ish for the Silencer. Glaives of Wisdom spam is definitely a thing, but he does have to watch out for his movements. Thing is, when you're going for Glaives of Wisdom spam up against a Lina who has more range than you do, obviously you're going to be taking some right clicks before you deliver your right clicks of your own. And when you're throwing the Glaives, you're not moving, so the LSA is a little bit easier to land at that stage. It's a risky pick for sure, but going up against Darkseer, going up against almost a full lineup of casters for Navi, On Navi side, they're going to go for Phantom Assassin as their last pick. A lot of deeps. They needed someone to do the damage. Can't really blame him for going for this Phantom Assassin. Matchup-wise, seems like it's actually pretty good. Maybe a tough time up against the Bat Rider slightly, but the Blur is going to be an all-star up against Silencer and Juggernaut both. And again, it's a very similar situation to last game, where Phantom Assassin is, well, it was up against a Terrorblade in that case, but still up against just pure right-clickers. Juggernaut will be happy to get an MKB. Silencer, definitely a little bit less so. So I do like the last pick from Navi, although I do feel the opposite is so easy. It's a cakewalk with a Bat Rider and an IO with Global Silence cover. I would expect Alliance to start the fights the vast majority of the times, and Navi at that point don't really have any responses. My audio isn't loud enough to know what this said. I'm a really disappointment of the Chinese community right now. Eternal shame upon my family. Smoke up either way from Navi. I'll wait to introduce them because they may be running into a little bit of a target here in Loda. Does have the spin, obviously. Lift up is going to be used before the spin. LSA completely off, though. Still with this many heroes right-clicking him, he still might go down here. Leech Seed picked up and will kill him off. And also will heal up a lot of that spin damage, so Loda, walking into the wrong neighborhood, gets mugged. We'll give Dendi that first blood. First blood on Lina is about as best as you can hope for. Ooh, they're actually going to juggle up their lanes a little bit. Response play from Alliance, smoking up themselves. But they're going into a Darkseer. Ion Shell was picked up. It will be a little bit of a smork fest right now. How good are the body blocks? They are not. There is Napalm slow. There's Ignite. Unfortunately, Ignite doesn't work with Napalm, despite that not making any sense at all. General now to the tower, but Handskin, he Ogre, he's smart. He don't care about a tower. It's a tier 2, though. He may care about Biver. Arriving to telekinesis the Bat Rider back in. Body blocks still almost non-existent. The tower shots still coming through, though, and it will get the kill. River, a lot of experience off of that one. General obviously getting pretty heavy benefits as well. Alliance trying to smork their way into tier 2s. That's a little bit of a hard sell. You know what, guys? Screw the introductions. You guys know who's playing what. I mean, you guys aren't here because you're just random guys wandering into a Dota stream. No, you're here because you know Alliance and you know Navi. We're going to have a little bit, as I said, of a lane swap. Oh my god, those right clicks and the daggers. Blightstone is an item for sure, and when you're hitting for 91 a pop, Jonas Fan just got his ass kicked. Over in mid lane, Limp, victim of one of many perhaps combos, telekinesis into LSA. It's only level 1 Lina, so LSA is whatever, not going to do all that much. But deciding to put Pycat and Suniko up towards the top lane, perhaps expecting a Juggernaut lane. Each trying to dodge the Juggernaut, who's currently on the bottom lane. Suniko gonna get the Leech Seed onto Jonas Fan, will give a lot of much needed juice towards Pycat. He's gonna use his stick, and Biver's going to arrive. Telekinesis stunning everybody. Jonas Fan and EGM getting their asses whooped right now by right clicks, and Pycat will get in far enough away to salve up. Jonas Fan, oh, another Napalm turnaround. That was a big mistake. He could have just ran out, but I think he turned around for Napalm or got misclicked and hit with the pathing. Either way, Hanskin now jumped by Pycat, Leech Seed, and lift up. Io doesn't really have anything to help Hanskin with the right clicks. Not enough. Level 2 Rubik, unfortunately not there for him. Only working with that telekinesis, and telekinesis Rubik is pretty pathetic, honestly. 49 base damage with a small stun, but Pycat not done yet. And EGM, he got abandoned by his friendly Ogre, who, by the way, is still being chased down by Sneeko, get punched in the face, and now EGM needs the sickest... Okay, never mind, he's dead. Navi are smorking Alliance harder than Alliance are smorking Navi. And this Treant Protector is doing so goddamn much, it's kind of insane. Like, you always hear, like, oh, you know, Treant Protector, he has big right clicks, he's able to harass the enemies away. But he never really does this much damage. Because usually there's just not this much fighting. But man, Sneeko is finding those opportunities. He doesn't even have boots yet. He has no movement speed advantage. He just has... Okay, now he has boots. He has the Orb of Venom only. And he's still able to land those right clicks. Insane. Now let's take a quick look at this boring lane over towards bottom. Loda's going to get some decent farm. General should be getting perfectly fine farm as well. No one should be dying on this bottom lane unless someone makes a big mistake. Surge trumps Qualifier every single time, but Jonasafan once again getting hit with some pretty heavy right clicks. Pycat, 8 stacks of napalm, gets out of the Batrider's damage, and now the Treant is on the run, running through the fire and the flames. He'll carry on. Punch Batrider once. Orb of Venom gets the Leech Seed. That should guarantee the kill. Punch him in the face. Sneeko probably will die. No, maybe not. He has living armor. He has a TP out. Orbs to the face. Oh, he teleports away. What a baller. Holy crap. Sneeko has been playing out of his mind in this series. By the way, people are dying over in mid lane. Dendi aggroed Limp a little bit too much, and he'll get to the shrine. He'll be fine. Highcat, the aggressive tri-lane Phantom Assassin with their Rubik and Tree. And I can't help but feel that Alliance will be having a little bit more success here if a Juggernaut was in this lane. Obviously, you still take all those right clicks, but you're able to put out so much more guaranteed damage as opposed to the Batrider, who saw all those stacks of napalm on Pycat do a little bit, but ultimately, if he's not standing in that fire, not doing any damage now, are you? They're still trying to battle in this lane. No reason for Navi to dissolve this lane. They're finding so much success here. Nico is going in for round 2, along with the lift up from Biver with the Leech Seed and the jump in from Pycat. Jonasafan dead before the IO can even arrive with that tether. Hanskin as well, not looking too hot with the right clicks. They'll take him down. Somebody call the police, because I'm pretty sure what's happening up towards top lane is not legal. At least not where I live. That was not an LSA that Dendi was looking for. And that curse is actually going to be doing a lot of damage to him. Should be fine still, but you know what? Dendi doesn't have to do anything in this game. He can just handle the lane as he is. Light lead for the Lina. General's having a pretty nice time against Loda as well. No winning state here for the Darkseer, but a perfectly fine one. He's going to go into the jungle and he'll be fine in that regard. This top lane is being absolutely dumpstered by Navi. Not even close. At least Batrider, now level 3. It's a pretty fast jungle, and this is very frequently what we see from Batriders who go towards the off lane. Struggle. Try to scrape together level 3, go into the jungle, and then pop back into lane when they're like level 6 or something like that. They get pretty good clear times. The concern right now for Alliance isn't really going to be that Batrider, even though he is 0-4-0, 5-6 minutes in the game. It's kind of depressing. The fact that now what the hell did the IO and the Ogre do? Ogre's going to try to apply some pressure over in general, but it's only a level 2 Ogre Magi. He doesn't really have much to contribute in killing off a Darkseer because he's so tanky. IO can stack, I guess, but there's no one... over in mid lane. Silencer lifted up into an LSA. Leech Seed is there as well. Sneeko and Beaver, they're going all over the place. Collecting heads, taking names, thinking about diving tier 1s. Probably a little bit too deep for Sneeko this time. These supports are going to be kind of in an awkward position where they don't really have access to their safe lane. When was the last time you guys saw a safe lane that was shut down this hard? So much so that nobody at all is comfortable going in. Now, usually, if a carry is having a bad time in a safe lane, whatever. He'll go to the jungle, he'll go to the off lane, they'll find some way to switch it up. And then, like, a ranged support is going to be, like, hiding or something like that and just absorbing experience. That's not standard, but it's what happens. This is never what happens. You never, ever see a safe lane completely abandoned like this. General, whoa, totally didn't miss that, guys. Is going to dodge the danger, but oh, AGM, don't tase me, bro. Got zapped in the jungle by Biver. These movements from these supports are insane. Oh, notice a fan. I think I'll go back to the lane. It seems safe now. And he's dead. 11 versus 0. God, is there some sort of mercy rule in effect now? There should be in Dota. I mean, it's a 4K lead off of an 11 kill advantage, which is you know, perhaps not like that bad. It's not something that you can't recover from, but it's still 7 minutes in the game. There's still nobody getting farm up on top. The Juggernaut at least is still getting farm, so Loda is going to be pretty happy. But this is becoming more and more a Juggernaut game. He has all the steroids and he has all the backups, so yeah, he is in a pretty good position matchup-wise, with Hand of Might especially. They have an Omni Slash and a spin. General, though, going to try to run away. He's going to be cut off by the Bat Rider. No lasso there, and General's going to get ahead of Yonasan Fan. 4 heroes in bottom for Alliance to do a whole lot of nothing, and now Navi are setting their trap. The TP coming in from Saniko. He's level 5 right now. He's still invis, although his trees are kind of being destroyed right now. They still want to defend their structures. General, what's his vacuum looking like? Level 1. Level 3 Ion Shell will not really do enough. Loda takes a crit. Never lucky. Will back off successfully. Navi don't really get all that much. But again, they don't really need to get all that much. It is the burden of this game is all on Alliance. They have to be making those plays. Along those lines, well, Io's only level 3. If they had a little bit more experience on Io, I'm not really sure how he would get it, given how safe lane went. But if he did, relocate with the Juggernaut, trying to leverage Omni Slash as much as you can. That's how you come back into this game, by getting those quick assassination type pickoffs. Get the Silencer involved in those kills as well, start stealing some intelligence, be able to grab some. The Darkseer, he may experience some really significant mana troubles later on. Of course, the Phantom Assassin, be dumb. If you're able to take out her intelligence, then yeah, just things get unhappy for her really, really quickly. Right now, Navi gonna look to hit the brakes a little bit. Pycat's gonna leave the top lane, give that over to Dendi. Double Nulls, looking for that Bloodstone buildup. On top of the net worth chart, despite being involved in the least action. That's mid lane farm for you right there. It's a favorable matchup as well. 2,500 Silencer, 38 for 12 versus the 63 for 8. Selena in the CS department. Nico's getting the advantage here. That rotate out of the mid lane, getting Dendi into the jungle. Jungling Lina isn't exactly a thing, but hey, you don't need to do it for that long, just until the Treant gets level 6, and he will have that very shortly. Alliance, they are power farming their Juggernaut. They will have steroids galore for this hero. Bat Rider is able to find himself a couple of minutes undisturbed in this jungle. The Blink Dagger can get Alliance right back in this game. Alliance, they're not feeling hot about this, but they still are in a position to recover, assuming they kind of limit their deaths for the next 5-10 minutes of this game. If this score gets pushed to like 13 or 14-0, that's still like a fine threshold for Alliance. That's something that they can recover from, simply because of how their draft is designed. They start bleeding out more heroes, then hope is very quickly going to drain away. Io needs to get experience. The Silencer, not even with that global silence yet. Just needs to keep farming. It does seem like Alliance are 100% now reliant on assassination attempts. Speaking of, Biver, he get charged down by Loda, FaZe, and Bloodlust. He's pretty quick. Biver is going to get into the safety of his tower. Yonasan Fan does not have his lasso. Just have to watch as the Rubik leaves to safety. Will do the same. I don't think they saw him. Level 2 vacuum. Tower's still gonna be beaten down. Treant Protector, the battering ram.
Tower is under attack. Dire's structures are fortified.
No one's on top lane still for Alliance. Navi have been working with 3 lanes, Alliance really only with 2. Duel start shoving this bottom lane. Was already previously shoved pretty hard. Blood with the Ring of Basilius turned on. By just making an even tower trade. That is going to be pretty big for Alliance, although TPs are coming in. So Nico, go invis, give that armor to the tower. Overgrow. There is a deny threshold here, but he's going to walk away. Not really sure about that overgrowth, but for Alliance, it's a big trade. Losing your top lane tier 1 actually makes this lane a little bit more workable because the creeps are a little bit closer to a tier 2 instead of just tier 1, so it's very, very difficult to dive that, at least compared to a tier 1. And it'll be an even gold exchange. And when you're behind, you want even gold exchanges. If you can. Biver going to run into an Ogre Magi. He's going to be pretty unhappy that he only stole a level 1 spell, but it's not like he could have gotten anything better. On Skin is daggered, and with the Ion Shell, oh my god, that's a crit. That's a double damage read on Phantom Assassin. I thought that was doing a little more damage. Hard to see with all these particles on her, but yeah, Pycat is loaded up with steroids as well. Look at this. This is ridiculous. Well, 12-0. It's only a level 3 Ogre Magi, so it's not that bad. But at the same time, it's a level 3 Ogre Magi 13 minutes in. Like that, this right here, this is not the face of a happy ogre. This is what sadness looks like. If you're ever playing Pictionary and you get sadness, just draw Ogre Magi with 679 net worth 13 minutes in the game. At least he has boots, right? We've seen worse. Tower will be destroyed on bottom, and this time no trade will be happening for Alliance. Navi and a Midas number 1 being built up on the tree. I feel like that's gonna be it. Midas got 1 on the silencer on the other end, 2 on the Juggernaut. So Alliance are definitely building up for the comeback.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Ooh. Yeah, we have a comeback build here for Alliance. This is a necessary evil. A desperate move for sure, but they have to do this. Have to find some way of getting their kind of underfarmed cores and the Bat and the Silencer back into this game. Yeah, it's going to mean that the next, well, I guess what was a 10-minute timing is going to kind of extend a little bit more for Navi, where they have so much more time to play this out and just look for those assassination attempts. If Alliance, again, can limit their deaths, then they will have a pretty good shot with these items. Navi, they know that there are at least a couple Midases on the other end, just to their 1 on the tree, which is not hugely relevant. We'll have to keep this pressure up. We'll do just that with the smoke. Top lane, Pycat's pushing. Was actually a pretty vulnerable target up towards top, especially since Relocate on IO is available. GM's just chilling with Limp. Just looking to keep this silencer safe. I think they just caught a glimpse of him. This is observed ward, but Alliance know that something's up. They see only Pycat up towards top lane. And now they see Dendi. Jig is up. Tower is not long for this world. Alliance starting with the split push. At least as best they can considering the circumstances. Juggernaut's still on top of that worth chart. Very impressed by how Loda's just been able to dodge most of these really bad engagements. Keep himself farming. But oh, Io lifts it up. This time he has no Glimmer Cape. And with the Laguna Blade, not sure if the Io deserved that, but you know, he's super dead. Power and a kill. Pushing that lead to 6k. Are they looking for Roche now? Is the Desolator up? Almost up. He needs that courier to get back. Navi can definitely look to do that. Just a little bit. This is not looking like a great game for Alliance, seeing as though the net worth experience making no real moves in their favor. But it's not really increasing in Navi's favor as much as you would really expect. They don't really have the most snowbally of lineups. Darkseer does have a mechanism. He is very tanky, he's a very high level. But Darkseer, unlike a Sand King or a Centaur or a Clockwork, isn't really going to just be constantly laying it into you.
This should make my life easier.
He supports the same thing for Navi. On the other end, if it was Navi with the Ogre Magi, they had a Vengeful Spirit or a CM, then things will be really bad. But Rubik and Tree are still kind of more so on the passive side, the kind of defensive side of the support roster. They still have you know, a little bit of hope here for Alliance, despite the score. That hope will start to disappear as Navi pick up more objectives for free. Dota, with all the steroids in the world, start tearing into the structure. General's gonna TP in. He has a mechanism. I think he could tank through an Omni Slash. Vacuum is gonna do a whole lot of nothing. Will eventually hold his tower. This is just buying some time. Batrider is gonna make the ping out. Hey guys, they're at Roshan. He is very, very correct. There is an overgrowth they have to worry about, but a Treant Protector is... they're worrying about an illusion first, kind of kicking Jonathan's ass with those lucky crits. Pycat will grab that double life, and now Jonathan is going to arrive. Pycat is going to get some over the overgrowth, gets a big crit on the dagger, and gets a free kill, though he's still silenced. He's most likely going to lose his first life. Spin now onto Sneeko. Not quite going to kill him just yet. Pycat's going to get another jump out, another big crit on EGM before he goes down. Omnislash will get Loda a double, but Dendi now arrives with the Laguna Blade, making it an even 2 for 2. And Loda hit with the dagger. That's not where you want to be, my friend. There's no one to back him up here, at least not to bail him out in so far as an IO. He will spin, but there's no spin TPs, and I'm pretty sure Navi know about that, just looking at the mana pool of Loda. Sick jukes! No, okay. Well, you know what? He tried. He's gonna get picked off as well. Everyone else from Alliance will back off. Darkseer mechanism? What Darkseer? You don't need a Darkseer in this fight. Man, Pycat was rolling lucky there. Getting crits when he's, like, guaranteed to die. But gets a crit with his last dying breath. Not an irrelevant amount of damage coming from this Phantom Assassin. Now, that was Alliance to also pick off the Aegis, but I'm not really sure if that's going to affect Navi that much. Dendi has a Shadow Blade, I think, coming out to him. Yeah, that's a full completed Shadow Blade. He's looking to step up to his assassination role as well. PA and Lina both looking to fill that assassination role. Tower is super dead despite Navi not having an Aegis to really make this push a super safe one. They now have General. That's their Aegis right there with the mechanism. So far, it's been relatively quiet in this game, this Darkseer. But when he does start to play the game, he'll have most likely level 4 Vacuum with Blink Dagger. And that's not something that Alliance really want to deal with right now. So Sneeko, speaking of, is going to be running into a lot of heroes and will be dropped. Global Silence as well. And this is going to slow down Dendi's reinforcements. So looking for EGM, has the Laguna Blade. He's going to run in with the Invis EGM. Going to try to pull away, but Dagger's coming in with the LSA and the big Lightning Bolt. They're looking also for Loda. They take out his healing. General's going to try to get in there as well with the Surge. Hey, Alliance, they get themselves on the board 17-3. Still losing an IO for a Treant Protector. Well worth it for Alliance, as long as they don't also lose Loda. That will be bad. Big crit! Says, screw you, Blade Fury. Coup de grace is better. Hanskin is going to get dove in the base. What level is he right now? Level 5 Ogre? It's just not fair versus level 14 PA. That's going to be another one for Navi. Looking for more. Dendi's not going to stop. Can't stop, won't stop. Sees Jonathan Fan with no Blink Dagger. And that looks to me like a free kill for Dendi. Jonathan Fan gets the Flame Break. Nothing coming out of that one. 20-3. My lord. I mean, last game, Navi had some pretty good matchups. Pretty nice from Navi, but this game is one that Alliance, I'm sure, will probably like to reset from as soon as possible. You don't want the game like this sticking in your mind for too long. Oh, Limp, and pretty aggressively, we'll get the tower deny. Loda's going to arrive, needs some backup. There's the Overgrowth, knowing there's no Global Silence. Navi might want to fight here, get the stun up onto the Juggernaut. EGM, not going to yank him out just yet, gets pulled back into a vacuum, and Loda will fall. And now the jump forward from Pycat, 700 crit, Laguna Blade onto the Ogre. Limp and Batrider are both kind of wondering what the hell do they do here, because they didn't do any damage to Navi. Again, General finally showing up to this game, because he wasn't needed up till now. Gonna open up the front gates for Navi to poke at the high ground. Now, does Lina have that damage talent just yet? Yes, she does. So she has the extra right-click damage with the Shadow Blade, and she's just looking for some sort of opportunity like this. Limp lifted up, has a Force Staff, but I don't think that's going to work. The Shrine, no, it won't work. Pycat is going to get a double. He's also going to go for a Hanskin. He daggered the Silencer and jumped in towards the Ogre. And I think killing the Ogre makes him king, right? That's how it works. Well, EGM and Jonathan Fan are just going to have to watch their buildings be destroyed. 21 minutes in. 3-25 now. That's going to be mid-racks down. Navi with no signs of stopping. Oh, Dendi with a Feign Retreat. Oh, onto Loda with the Laguna Blade. They got him again. Get mind gamed. Now the Batrider trying to initiate, in quotation marks, of course. EGM's like, get me the hell out of here, guys. I want out. He's going to get out, but his allies are not alive, so who cares about an IO? Nobody. Notice the Fan's back. He's going to buy out. Loda has a buyout as well. The Global Silence Alliance, I'm not really sure if they can do much here. Limp's going to try to move forward. Still, Dendy has his eyes on the prize, and it will be the Phantom Assassin. Ready to jump into the drop of a hat. Dendy gets force staffed in. Big play if he can get out, but oh, actually no, Pycat wants in instead. He's like, oh, force staff her? Why not me? I want to fight. She's going to get 2. An Alliance, they use Global Silence to do, well, about half of HP worth of Dendy damage. Was, by the way, 28 Bloodstone charges. So even if he dies, pretty sure he doesn't care. Or stab. Oh, the LSA combo with the vacuum was perfect. Oh my god. Somebody please call the cops. Omni Slash is going to do very little versus General. He'll fall as well. 3-31. And that's going to be GG well played. That was one of the most one-sided matchups of teams that shouldn't have one-sided matchups I've ever seen in my life. Like, there are games where you know one team is better, and you expect one team to win.